Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Come On Shine, and from this time onwards I'll be dealing with literary criticism, which is very important aspect in English literature. And in this video I'll be giving you a clear-cut concept that what you have to study in literary criticism and which critics from which period you have to study. So without any delay, let's begin. And guys, please watch till the end, otherwise again you will be confused. So literary criticism can be divided into following periods. First of all, classical critics. Second is Elizabethan criticism. Third is 18th century criticism. Fourth, romantic criticism. Fifth, Victorian criticism. Last but not the least is modern criticism. Now let's see which critics come in these particular period. So in classical critics, you have to study Aristotle and his works like the art of poetry, definition of tragedy, and theory of catharsis. And when you will go through Aristotle, you can automatically be acquainted with Plato also. Second critic is Horace and his Ars Poetica and the art of drama you can see. Third is Longinus on the sublime. You can read this also in classical critic. Longinus, Horace and Aristotle, these three critics are very important in classical critics. Okay, criticism. Next period is Elizabethan criticism. In this, you have to study Sir Philip Sidney, Apology for Poetry and their Defense for Poetry. These two works are very important in Elizabethan criticism. Apology for Poetry and their Defense for Poetry. And you can read Ben Jonson as a critic and his work Timber. And in 18th century criticism, you have to study Augustan criticism and critics like Dryden and essay of dramatic poesy and Dryden as a critic. Then you have to study Dr. Jonson's Lives of Poets and Dr. Jonson as a critic with reference to one life, that is the life of Milton. Then you also have to read Jonson the Juggler with Three Balls, Fancy, Reason, Faith. Then comes the romantic criticism. In this, you have to study Wordsworth as a critic and Coleridge's Biographia Literaria. Biographia Literaria is very famous by Coleridge. So you have to deeply go through Biographia Literaria by Coleridge. Now comes the Victorian criticism. In this, you have to study Darwin and the Victorian thought. And you have to read Matthew Arnold thoroughly, like Matthew Arnold as a critic, Matthew Arnold on romantics, Arnold on Wordsworth, Arnold on Byron, culture and anarchy, Arnold's criticism. And then you can also read Carlyle's criticism of democracy. And you can also go through the critic like John Stuart Mill on liberty, Ruskin as a thinker, John Henry Newman, Apologia pro vita sua, Peter's aestheticism, and last Andrew Lang as a critic of fiction. All these critics you have to read in Victorian criticism. So in Victorian criticism you have to read a lot, but Matthew Arnold is the most important. Okay, don't miss Matthew Arnold. Okay. And last but not the least, as I told, modern criticism. In this, you have to study Yeats criticism, subjective and poetic, Yeats dramatic criticism. Then you have to read T.S. Eliot as a critic and Eliot views on the music of poetry, Eliot as classicist in theories, Eliot on impersonality of the poet, Eliot on tradition. Then you have to read the frontiers of criticism and I.A. Richards as a critic. It is very important, I.A. Richards, and this is must-read topic. William Epson's 7 types of ambiguity. This is very important, and William Epson as a critic. Don't miss out William Epson. Okay, so guys, now you can read and understand literary criticism easily, because the idea is clear in your mind that what you actually have to study in literary criticism. And in my next video I'll be dealing with classical critic like Aristotle, Horace, and Longinus, okay, in detail. So don't miss out and stay tuned. And if you literally liked my video, so please give me thumbs up, hit the bell icon, and subscribe to my channel. Till then, bye, take care, keep loving literature.